Hello and welcome. My name is Kimberly Nat, and I work in the business development, group sales, and planning with Ellison Travel and Tours. I'm really excited to be talking to you today about safe travels. This is a short little video to inspire you about travel and highlight some of the features of Ellison Travel and Tours. Ellison Travel and Tours has been in business since 1980 and is completely Canadian owned and operated. President and owner Doug Ellison was a high school teacher for 14 years, and as a teacher, he organized student trips. This sparked his interest in travel, and the company was born, and now has 4 divisions, including customized group travel, customized student travel, vacation, and corporate travel, providing a full service travel management experience. The company started with just 2 employees and grew to over 90 employees pre-COVID, including 3 offices across Canada. We've joined forces with CWT Vacations, which has 4,400 offices worldwide, giving us and our clients a local presence with a global reach. In 2019, we had over 600 groups travel with us and over 11,000 vacation travelers. This equates to over 40,000 people traveling with us. Many of our private groups were customized, including, for example, wellness groups, women's groups, special interest groups, culinary groups, and remembrance tours, just to name a few. Each of these groups had customized tour itineraries to meet their needs and budget. Our corporate and vacation travel agents specialize in a range of products and services, including Disney travel specialists to small and medium-sized meeting and incentive groups, river cruises, and almost everything in between. We're really proud of this, and we have experts in every area, all the way from Toronto to Orlando to New Zealand to Italy, and the list goes on and on. So today we're going to speak about where can I travel, where do I look for reliable travel information, safe travels programs, future travel trends, travel insurance, what you need to know before you go. So where can we travel? This slide here shows us a little link that we can click on from Destination Canada. Once you click on it, you're able to hover over each province to get more details. So following your provincial guidelines, Destination Canada provides current and up-to-date travel restrictions for all provinces. So as an example, right now, if you take your mouse and you go to this link and then hover over Manitoba, you'll find there's no travel restrictions for domestic travelers entering, but as of January 29th, there is a 14-day self-isolation required, except for essential workers and some specific exemptions. Travel to and from northern Manitoba is restricted, and non-essential travel is discouraged. If you were to move over and hover over Saskatchewan, you'll find there's no travel restrictions or self-isolation for domestic travelers entering Saskatchewan. And then if you hovered over Alberta, you'd see there's no travel restrictions or self-isolation for domestic travelers entering Alberta. And then as of February 22nd, the COVID-19 border testing pilot has been suspended. And for everyone, new travel requirements were announced by the Government of Canada, and those are in effect. You'll find all of these links and a copy of this recording at ellisontravel.com/safetravels. So this slide here is where can you go internationally? So we have a link here from IATA. Again, will be included at our ellisontravel.com safe travels for you to reference after. For the most up-to-date travel advisories, you can also visit our government website here. It's a great reference. Again, if on this map you were wanting to see what the current restrictions are, you would hover over where your destination is and you would get that information. So it's listed by countries with detailed restrictions. It's very important to do your research before making any travel arrangements. Check government websites, review current case numbers in your selected destination, check to see if attractions are open or have reduced hours, and for professional advice, speak to your trusted travel agent. One thing to keep in mind is that the situation is constantly evolving for all countries. It can change very quickly, and governments can shut down borders with little warning. This could in turn affect your ability to return to Canada, and the Government of Canada is no longer providing flights returning back to Canada, given the Avoid Non-Essential Travel Advisory has been in place since mid-March of last year. So for current up-to-date information, this is a graphic that comes from our Canadian government website. So as an example, if you were returning and entering Canada from air, by air rather, during the current situation, you would be following this little graphic here. So there's the website, canada.ca/coronavirus, where you would get this information. So before departure, you would be planning for your quarantine when you return. You'd be booking your hotel for a 3-night stay upon arrival back into Canada. You'd be getting a COVID-19 molecular test 72 hours before your scheduled flight. You'd be downloading the ArriveCAN app and entering all of your information. You'd be wearing a mask. If symptoms developed, you would be telling your flight attendant immediately. And then upon arrival into Canada, you'd be providing the information in your documents, answer your eligibility and health screening questions, taking the COVID molecular test, and then into your quarantine. When travel resumes, we want to make sure that you are registering with the Government of Canada for emergency notification. There's the link right there up on this slide. And we have had travelers actually that have been in country, have registered before they left, and then when they're in country, they've received an emergency notification from the Government of Canada. And in country, nobody seems to know the information. So it is very valuable for travelers to be registered so that the Government of Canada knows where you are. They're able to give you up-to-date information. There's also some links here for some other reliable health resources. And again, those will also be included at our ellisontravel.com/safetravels. So for the first time ever, the global private sector has rallied around the Safe Travels Protocol, which will create consistency across the sector. Implementation by governments around the world will restore much needed confidence in order to restart the travel and tourism industry. All travel suppliers and destination marketing organizations can apply for use of this stamp. Happy to say that Ellison is now an approved tour operator under the Safe Travels program. World Travel and Tourism Council has launched the world's first ever global safety and hygiene stamp. The specially designed stamp will allow travelers to recognize governments and businesses around the world which have adopted health and hygiene standards protocols, so all consumers can experience safe travels. This landmark move has also received backing of the influential United National World Tourism Organization. Public and private entities have embraced the new certification program, including more than 200 of the world's major tourism groups. The Safe Travel Stamp will help to rebuild consumer confidence and encourage the restoration of the global travel and tourism sector. The protocols and recommendations follow guidelines from the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Eligible companies around the world, as shown on the map right here, such as hotels, restaurants, airlines, cruise lines, tour operators, attractions, short-term rentals, car rentals, outdoor shopping, transportation, and airports will be able to use the stamp once the health and hygiene protocols outlined by the WTTC have been implemented. Each of the safe travel protocols has 4 pillars. The first one is operational and staff preparedness. Second is ensuring a safe experience. Third, rebuilding trust and confidence. And fourth, implementing enabling policies. Allison Travels has a Safe Travels checklist to help prepare for travel and protocols for travelers on tour. An example might be that we suggest that you sit with the same people at each meal and remain on the same seat of the bus throughout the tour. This will continue to be updated as required. So travel trends. Currently, we're not promoting travel, but these are some of the travel trends that we are seeing. RVing or camping with interprovincial trips, domestic trips, traveling local, the buy local movement or staycations or day trips, ski trips, outdoor activities, small bubble groups, multi-generational, and curated private experience, as well as long stays. Here are some tips to travel safely within Canada. BYOS, bring your own supplies. Know before you go. That's what we're doing right here. We're learning and getting the information before we go. Be border savvy. That includes even your provincial borders. Minimize stops, maximize time. Book a clean, contactless stay if you can. Embrace the outdoors smartly and respectfully. Know your comfort level and reduce your risk. Buy local and support local. Travel insurance. Know what we need to know before we go. So cancel for any reason benefit, otherwise sometimes called CFAR, is always the best coverage, but even more important during COVID and is really just a must when you're traveling. Out of province or country medical coverage for COVID-19. Always important, even in Canada under normal circumstances. Not all costs may be covered by your provincial plan when outside of your home province. For example, maybe an ambulance, private room, or air ambulance home may not be included. You need to know what your provincial coverage is and what happens if you get COVID in destination, as it may be considered a known risk. In some cases, this may be required in your destination. You'll want to also know about coverage for quarantine and destination. As I just mentioned, you want to make sure that you have the coverage in case you need to quarantine in destination during your trip and return home possibly at a later time. Travel advisory in place. Coverage is often limited if there's a Canadian government travel advisory in place at the time of purchase. This is changing a lot right now, so it's definitely something that we want to make sure that you have the information on. Supplier cancellation details. Refund versus future travel credit. You need to know what the terms and conditions of the travel supplier or provider are if you cancel. Your insurance will only pay out if you incur a financial loss, and a future travel credit may not constitute a financial loss, so a claim may not be successful. Manulife COVID-19 Pandemic Plan is available for traveling in Canada and internationally. This is a specialized coverage that helps protect travelers if they fall ill due to COVID-19.